Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get back into the Husqvarna 257 build.
Get that hack job.
Hopefully at least get what machine work needs done today, and maybe hopefully get into the port work. There probably won't be a lot to bore you with any rambling. We're going to get into some work on this saw, and she may look a little different now. These showed up in the mail today. They are OEM. The inserts that go on that handle, they were like 10 bucks a piece. I think once it was said and done, like 23 bucks to get them here, but makes the saw look a lot better in my opinion. But with that said, let's get into some port work. Okay guys, so this is something you've probably never seen anyone do. What I'd done on the squish band, took a sanding drum and kind of put a polish on the squish band, and that's kind of what I'm doing with the top of the piston. Remember, we didn't need much. I'm going to say 5 thousandths, and then after glue, everything will be good. 5 thousandths is not a lot. Getting the squish from 12 up to 20. Not going to take some polishing compound on top of that piston. Again, I know stuff you're not going to see anyone else do. Alrighty guys, so you can probably see what little work I've done to the squish band. It's basically just trued up and slick and looking real nice. Another look at the piston. Looking real nice. Now, there was some places on this piston that I seen in the last video that kind of looked like, I don't know, kind of like a burnt place or something. Nothing that's gonna matter, make a damn. I will take some paper to the piston and not really get it roughed up, but I can still feel some machining marks in it. But you know, get something back on it to where, you know, it'll give the oil somewhere to ride. But the way this saw feeds, if you'll look, open port transfer design, you would think that was case fed. Now have you, it is not. I'm going to try to get you guys in on the crankcases. Alright, there we go. Hopefully we're in good focus. As you can see, normally the sides of the cases will be cut out here for a case fed situation, and no, we're not going to grind on that. We're going to stick to the way the engineers sawed out that this needed to be fed, which was, wouldn't really call it windows in the bottom of the piston, but notches in the bottom of the piston. Not really any reason to modify anything here, do anything. I think what they've got there will be just fine. If anything, I may just knock these edges down, and you know, that be it, where we've pulled the base gasket out to give it that little bit back of flow. And if I do that, we will show that on camera. But the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get the piston back on, put the cylinder back on, and recheck squish. And I'll let you guys know what I figure out. Alright, we're going to see where squish is at now. It looks like I left my calipers sitting out the battery in it all night and all day, so let's hope our caliper's working. If not, this will be cut short, and I've got to make a trip out to get hearing aid battery for the caliper, which is what it uses. And they are not cheap, like 10 bucks for like 3 of them, I think. Maybe even just 2. Mashed pretty easy. We'll check it on multiple sides, or on 2 different sides rather. 16, we'll check on the other side, but I'm thinking that's pretty damn good, really. Get our glue in there and it'll be good enough. On a smaller saw, you can round them a little tighter. And this thing just has a 46mm bore. We can take a little more just to be safe, but real exciting stuff. Real exciting stuff, guys. Again, 16 thou. I doubt you're picking up, but we'll see. I think I'm going to call it close enough on that. That's plenty of clearance. We're good and clean, no carbon. I think we'll just send it there, guys. And again, didn't take a lot. I just lightly sanded the squish band. Did sand the top of the piston and laid a good polish on the top of it. And you know, that gave us like 4 thousandths of clearance. It don't take a lot. The first cylinder that I cut with a mandrel and a high-speed steel cutter in it, seemed like I cut like 40 or 50 thousandths out of it in just like not even a minute, probably. Some of these things cut really, really easy. And alrighty, guys, game plan. Let me try to zoom in to the intake port here. Right in the very back of that, there where my finger's at, there is a lip where the nickel seal plating is sticking up. If you'll remember, the intake timing was like 74. I don't want to go much more than that because it's an open port. I want to be able to keep case pressure up when I raise my uppers to get more transfer. Same deal with the exhaust port. We got some nickel seal overhang in the back. We're going to start with blending that in on each port and cleaning each port up and see where our timing lands us there. But okay, guys, so before we get started, if you don't have one of these cutters, go to your local hardware store, wherever Dremel stuff is sold. Pick one of those up. They work awesome. I've went through many of them here. I'm pretty sure Bellhopper was the first person I seen use one of these, and that has been several years ago. But it's an awesome cutter, leaves a good finish, and does a good job. They're gonna run you about 15 bucks now. I think they were around 11 like 6 years ago, but it is what it is. I think everything's that way. There's the side we ain't done. There's the side we just done. Just knocking it back just a little bit, and I will go over all of this with the cartridge rolling in. Gotta clean that ring groove out for the new ring. This one had some carbon in it. I don't want to do the whole thing on camera, but just to give you guys an idea of how exactly to do that. And that's a Husky ring that came off of it. You talk about a tough ring. Some of the newer ones you get, you will not do that with. They will snap in your hand. And the place on that piston that was showing was actually like from reversion from the transfers, I guess, because it looked like it came right from the little notches that are cut out on the piston. Feed the transfers, and this piston fits that cylinder amazing. I've checked that out and spec'd it. You guys know that I cannot stand one that rattles any bit at all, or rattles more than it should. If it was any worse, I would have ordered a new meteor piston to go in it, or whatever I could find, I guess. But the main purpose in this is just to kind of put a scuff on it give the oil some more to ride. And we've got like a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it plumb wore out roll. We're just gonna lightly go over everything. Not really any sharp edges on this one bad anyway. Still don't hurt anything to go around it. We've already went around the crown of it with the polishing block, so we should be good there. And this is just like that peace of mind stuff that we do, I guess you could say, or I do anyway. A lot of it's probably pointless or useless, but it's not hurting anything to do it either. And doing this in turn probably lightened the piston a little bit. I did lower those a little more than I originally said I would, but right, look, they could be taken further. You could notch them on down, I think, and not lose any stability in the piston, but that's a pretty good area for the transfers to feed, so I think we'll be okay. Get the carbon out of it. A lot of it's already out. So what we've done now, if it'll stay on there, is we've peeled the cartridge roll back, and now we're going to make our light passes. It'll leave like a polishing effect, not quite, but sort of. It'll leave a pretty nice finish. Intake port, you guys remember the little lip in the bottom I was talking about? I'm going to go in and run this roll at a really slow speed, and we're going to blend that in. I think it's going to put my intake timing right where I want it to be. Running that at a really slow speed leaves a really nice texture on that port. You can do the whole port job with these cutters if you know how to use them properly. It leaves such a better finish than going in and using a double cutter and a Luma hog. It takes a little longer, but you end up with a better looking, higher flowing port, in my opinion. In the end, it don't have to be pretty, but we want it to flow well in the end too. Not sure if my marks in there will pick up, but the upper's got to be moved very little at all. Mainly the secondaries anyway that need raised up, but not sure how well you'll be able to see, but we'll try to video a little bit of it anyway. Using a diamond abrasive, no need to use a real aggressive cutter because we're not moving them much far at all, but I'll probably do these off camera. Grinding the uppers a little boring anyway, and give you a look at the finished product, and we'll wrap this one up, guys. Again, shit you will not see other builders do on here. I don't like how tight that pin fits the piston, so we're going to polish it a little. I've already lightened the pin. Your lathe can be used for more things than just turning and boring and drilling. Be used for a lot of different things. It's that heck job. Many of you know what movie that came from. Probably very few unless you have kids. Port work on it didn't turn out bad. It ain't none of my best work. At the top end, you'll see a lot of saw, and the handlebar. So what we're going to mainly get into here today is the timing advance, get into the muffler mod, and hopefully get this thing fired up and running. Okay guys, so this is a muffler design. Ain't really ever seen anything like that. There we go, muffler mod. Just put 2 bolts back in the front. Straight shot right into the saw. Should do great. Hell no, not really, but what I'm mainly wanting to do is open up this deflector. It's pretty big. I think I can get inside with the big cutter and open that on up some more. And guys, honestly, I think that'll be plenty enough flow for it. So once I get that done, I'll bring you guys back and give you a look guys, and there's that muffler mod opened up. Now that thing probably has a 3/4 inch opening inside. I can put a finger all the way through it. So I think for what we've got here, it'll flow plenty good enough. I wish I would have shown it before I put it back on the saw, but that air filter where it goes down into the elbow or the inlet, just like super choked up, super restrictive. Not really anything you can do about it, but yeah, I don't really have any doubts of this thing performing well, but I don't know, I kind of do too, so I don't know, we'll just have to see. Okay guys, so pretty healthy time in advance. There would be stock, there would be advance. Alrighty guys, the footage over here looks a little grainy. I don't have anywhere near the lighting over here that I have over in the other shop. So, it is what it is. Ain't showing nothing real exciting anyway here, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the saw off and I'm gonna choke it, and we're gonna try to flood it a bunch just to make sure everything's good and lubed up. That should be plenty. Probably won't even need the choke now. And I may end up taking this clutch cover off. I ain't for sure if the clutch is really, it's kind of hitting it, but I think it'll be okay. Either it had an air leak before and someone had to idle and in a mall, or we have an air leak now. Let me briefly pause you guys and see what's up with this thing. Not really sure what was up with that, but the throttle linkage is binding up on the carburetor and not returning. That's kind of weird. The carb itself, watch, will not release back. So not really sure what's up with that. I'm gonna loosen up the screws here and see if maybe just something's binding up, but I'll let you guys know. It ended up being super simple. I knew it had to be. It was the wire for the kill switch was bumping the like little interlock, I guess, for the high speed idle for the choke. Just wasn't letting it come back and release as easy as it should, so that wire moved over out of the way and all is good. So I'll bunt this back up and we'll fire it back up again. Alrighty guys, how's she sounding? Sounding pretty damn healthy, to be honest with you. Didn't act nothing like it does now before. Guys, I think we nailed that one. I'll probably bench around it a little more, and then in a day or two we'll get it out and we'll make that a whole nother video. We'll get it out, make that a whole different video. We'll get a chain set up on it and a bar. I don't have a filling spike here for it. That don't really matter. I usually set chains up to where they self-feed, which is the way a chain should be set up. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll have one more part in the segment, and then I'm sure you guys will see me out with it in the woods somewhere, and then we'll probably move this one on down the road. So if you've got any interest in it at all, just let me know, and I'll let you know how to get a hold of me. But with that said, you guys have a good one.